Welcome to the Work and Learn session about the Asset Data Audit Trail, the intelligent PDF processing with automatic work order creation. Both of those will be presented by me, and the next three, order to quote traceability link, enhanced portal search with time-based filters, and the new and improved service center will be presented by Belin. So let's get right to it. What is Asset Audit Trail? It's the ability to track every asset change with complete visibility. So no longer will there be any guesswork about who changed what changed what, and why it changed. We automatically record every change made to asset information. So we track who it did, but also the system that changed it. So either the portal, customer portal, gateway API, or flow transition, or the database itself. And this allows the customers to have complete visibility into all the asset data changes that are there every day. There's also clear accountability. So it's no longer, hey, did Bob just change that asset again? Or, tracing who did what. There's also faster troubleshooting. So if Bob changed it again, you'll see it immediately. And we also have compliancy support now with immutable audit records, meaning that audit records are only added upon and not modifying or modified. There's also the historical view of asset evolution over time. And with that being said, I will jump straight into that portion. I just gave you a spoiler, and I'm going to give you another spoiler where someone will talk about later, a new service center screen. But I'll open a asset detail screen, and I'm looking at the address, and I see like, wait a minute, this is no longer at 73, this is 75. And the parent asset, there is a parent asset. It's a nice Dutch word, brandmelder 10. And I will also change some skills that are required now that it's actually filled in correctly. So I click save, and now for the sake of the demo, imagine that I'm logged in with another user account, and I go to the asset history, new button over here, and we see that a bunch of data has changed, namely the skills that I just added, the house number, and the parent asset. And here comes the thing. There's another change here, which we didn't even know that we did, but it still happened. So it needs to be audited. And those are the custom fields that were changed in this case. In the past, when something changed, you would have no clue that this happened. For technical reason, it had to happen. So now that we have this functionality, we have the ability to see this. So a quick summary of the screen, you'll see the change date, the application who did it. So in this case, it's the portal only. It could also be if you import data from the gateway, it will say gateway, and then this field will be empty. And the fields that are changed and the number of changes in there. So for example, you can also see that there are 2 skills added. And if I remove one now, then you'll see -1. Then there is one more change, and that's in the audit, the old audit screen, or the existing audit screen is the right word. In the past, there were 2 additional columns here. We had old values here and then new values, and it's a comma separated list. And if you had a row like this, I wish you good luck, because it will be this field, comma, test address, comma, blah, blah, blah. And then another column with the new values, and then you had to compare the 2. So you had to count like, okay, I'm 1 comma in. oh no, wait, this is the fourth field. So that's 3 commas. And then, yeah, it was awful. So now we improve that by, changing the UI, allowing us to show a bit more data that, makes sense. So that's a minor improvement, but still wanted to mention it. Let's get straight back into the slideshow. So don't forget, if you have any questions, write them down. Straight into the intelligent PDF processing with automatic work order creation. What is this? Well, there are some customers who have old ERP systems that will only output PDF files, or setting up an interface is too much work, so they just settle with saving the PDF documents. And now we can upload those PDF files straight into the portal, which will use OCR technology powered by Azure. We'll go into that later. That will interpret the PDF, extract data, and make it information. We can handle both digital and scanned documents, and even handwritten ones, depending on the handwriting. Why is this relevant for our customers? It's because manual data entry is just awful. It kills productivity, and it's error prone. And yeah, I mean, typing over things, you make a lot of mistakes, and well, not anymore using our system. The values deliver the elimination of manual data entry. It reduces errors, can even improve, because if you have errors in the data, you can correct it. I will show that later. It speeds up a lot of work, especially if you're not as fast at typing. Oh, sorry. And yeah, it can handle digital, scanned, handwritten. It can handle a lot. So without further ado, let me switch back to the portal. In the side menu, we have the upload PDF item, which will only show up if it is configured correctly, this functionality. That means it requires an URL to be set and a certain key. I won't go into too much technical details, but that's one of the settings that need to be set. I then see this upload PDF screen where there's some information regarding the PDF files. I click on upload. I search for one of the PDF files that I want to upload. What will happen now is we will send the PDF back to Azure. Azure Document Intelligence will pick this up. It will determine what the PDF is, and then it will extract information from it. Then it will return that data to us, and we will show this page. So on the right side, you see the document preview. So that's the PDF you just uploaded. On the left side, you see all the information that it extracted from, or data that is required but missing. In this case, the region is not on the PDF, so we have to select that ourselves. Oh, damn, I picked the wrong region again. There we go. And the street is also not extracted here. So I will do that manually, but luckily I have the PDF here, so I don't have to open up the PDF. I can just do that straight from here. Then I can do, I will click the import button, and it will send the PDF over to the gateway, where it will show me that the activity change is not allowed because the order was already existing in our system, and the status direction is not configured correctly. So in that case, right now I can't do much, so I will process another one. Let me go here and select, for example, let's see, service order 4. I don't know. I'm just picking random ones. And so these data, or these PDFs, were already trained. Let me quickly go into the PDFs. And how it works is you see the the labels that are available, or all the pieces of text that are available, and then you're going to start to label them. So you click on, for example, this portion, and then you give it a name. So for example, customer name, and then here you do street, and here you do city, and here you do country, and here you do asset serial number or asset number, because that's a different thing. Contact person name, all kinds of things you can configure. The exact details can be found on a wiki, so we have wiki articles for that. So that's how we train the data. Let me jump back here. There's the wrong one again. And let's do this one now to be safe. Let's see if that works. Right, so that's the street. Couldn't figure that out because normally we do street house number. That's how the model was trained. And now it's successfully processed. So in that case, there's a view and edit button. If I click on the view and edit button, it will open up a new tab with the order details related to that PDF. And what you will see here is that the PDF is also linked to the work order. So the customer knows or can track back like, hey, it came from a PDF, and maybe some other data that's currently not filled in is indeed on the PDF, then they can still go back to it and add the data. And that's pretty much it. Well, Belen, I think you have a bit more time than the previous one.
Yeah, I think I'll be good this time. No worries. All right, thank you for passing the torch over. And as soon as the page loads properly, which is the PowerPoint presentation, I can show you what my section is all about. So the first thing I want to talk about is the improvement that is the order to quote traceability link. So we can see that the values delivered by this particular item are going to save time by eliminating the needs to cross-reference quotes manually. They reduce errors in missing interpretation and quote context. And essentially what we know about all data, the more it's rational and related, the more useful it is. And in this particular case, we will allow our users to move effortlessly between quotes and the orders that the quotes generate. For this to happen, the quote has to be signed, or in the case of our organization environment that I'm going to demonstrate in, it's going to be 1. And these orders are automatically created as soon as the quote hits that particular state. Essentially, you will see a link on the quote details, which will lead you back to the order details related to the order for that quote. It also works vice versa. So if you open up the order details, of a particular order, if the order stems from a quote, you'll be able to actually see that and move between them. So let me quickly go back to the portal and I can demonstrate this already to you. So like I said, what you would want to do is go to the search page, which we're all familiar with, and we're going to find a quote that is 1, and I'll just pick any one of these. Let's say this one. And right here, you will see this field or label, which links us to the order. If we open it up, we see the order details, and if we scroll down, we will see the quote which it stems from. And like I said, this works vice versa. So if you open up the order details first, you can go back to the quote. But in this case, since we opened the quote first, we just close the order. And that's pretty much it. The next thing I want to show you is the enhanced portal search with time-based filters. This is going to deliver faster data retrieval without date calculations, fewer search errors, and overall a nice and easy to read overview of the data in the system for our customers. Besides this, there's a list, there's many things, many different filters that we have applied. So there's, for example, last week, next working week, last quarter, greater than end days. So we also support numeric time gaps. So you can say, I want to see orders that are older than 10 days ago. But the inverse also works. So I'll give it a negative value. And if the logic makes sense, you can say order that are minus 10 days ago, which in a sense makes sense, and it will display the data that you are looking for. So what we would do in the general case, we would log into the portal. We're going to go to advanced search. We can get to there from the service orders menu item. And I have to know this is all based on the reported date of the order. So if we go here to the advanced search, open up, in the drop-down select reported date, and now we'll see all of these options. And like I said, we have also greater than or less than values, so you can support numeric values, like let's say, I don't know, 10, which gives us nothing in this particular case, but there's no orders that fit this criteria. If we do the negative, it's going to retrieve something. So the users obviously have their own use cases, like what they're looking for, but this is just giving them a lot of flexibility and an easy way to view all this in that regard. And the very last thing I would like to show you is the new and improved Service Center, which was previously the call intake page for those of us who had the chance to use it. It's essentially a full remake, and the reason why we did it, it was highly requested by the customers. And the way we thought would be best to improve it is give the whole page a redesign and also hierarchy. Hierarchy meaning that we display depth for our customers and our assets, essentially allowing us to see who is the parent customer of a child customer or an asset and vice versa. And this is all configurable from master data, which is located in the administration section of the page. The value this provides is obviously the icons make it very clear. You don't have to dive deep. You just see an icon you configured, and you already know that this is a parent or a child or a second child of a customer. The layout is very clean and easy to navigate. And overall, we have enabled it so you could still visit the customers like you could with the call intake page. Although we removed a few CTAs like the create order button or create project from this page directly, because now you can still access them from service orders. And as you can see here, this is an icon of a mango. This shows us parent customers. If we expand this further, we can now see based on the tree depth hierarchy, okay, this is this map icon, this displays the first child of the customer, and then this building icon displays the second second child depth. If we open up any of these, you will see on the right-hand side the assets related to this customer. It also works if you open up the asset page, vice versa. Now, what neat thing we can do is, let's say I'm a customer, I'm looking for a particular customer of me, and I will type in the word Anders here, and it will display all the relevant information. So I was looking for this one in particular. So maybe it's best if I do it like this to show you exactly what I mean. When you search like this, it will show you all the hierarchy levels that are above this particular customer. So we will also see its parent. If this was the third customer in the depth, we would also see the customer between this and the parent. So allowing for a much easier and quicker overview. If we want to adjust this, like I said, we would just go to master data. And in master data, you will see two new items. One is going to be the asset tree depth, and the other thing is going to be the customer tree depth. They're essentially identical in how they function, and it's very easy to configure. You would add a new item, or in this case, I'm editing one. We define the depth at the very top. The depth with the lowest number is the top of the hierarchy, essentially. One being parent, anything less is a child of a child of a child, and so on. The description is arbitrary. It helps you as a user to define what this is in particular. So you can imagine our customers could have something different. It doesn't have to be a customer, it could be whatever. And the icons down below just allow us to easily map logically what we're trying to represent. And you could recall that the mango was the thing that I was showing you as the parent. Now I'm going to search for the word one, just select one, and this is going to be now displayed actively in Service Center. as you can see. All right, so that's my part of the presentation, and that's all we had to present so